2, 3, let go.
Live and direct from the planet of Queens, New York. Rodrigo Salazar, Lisa Tunda, Sarge Senseis. We're wearing matching blue. It happens. We got the France jersey from eBay. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't really care. This is one of my favorite jersey designs, and I suggest you go on there if you like jerseys and you want to pay over the head for stuff like that. What's up, fellas?
You do look like Benzema.
Benzema, Zidane, whoever it is.
Maybe let's do it. Maybe you'll be the only Benzema on the pitch come Euro 2016.
Yeah, definitely. So we're trying to connect with Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. Big fan of his, big fan of what he's done. Not only because I'm an Arsenal fan, but because he's one of the creators of fan television. So what he started was fans going outside the stadium and interviewing people. And he started about a couple years ago. And now I think every club in England has that. So you have Crystal Palace TV with our friend Jim Daly, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Chelsea has one. Man United has one. So, it's a little bit of a revolution what's going on with this media. It comes to social media, but, really talking to the fans and seeing their passion and the support for the club. So, trying to get him on the show right now, doing the whole Skype thing. But let's kick it off with the end of the transfer window. Steven Fletcher to Marseille. Let me say it again. Steven Fletcher to Olympique Marseille. Why? How did that happen? I have no idea. Go ahead.
Neither do I. It took me off the bait right now. I only woke up a few minutes ago, but I'm fully awake now.
Yeah, it's the grappa. Come on. Get with it. All right.
Who knows? It could be a last chance for a call up to the European squad. I know a lot of players who got very little playing time. They're moving around, trying to get those minutes, trying to get ready for those Euro competition. Come June, another player, Pirlo, that we well know.
Yeah.
He was rumored to have gone to Inter.
Hey, Robbie, what's up, man?
Not too bad.
I can't see you on the camera though. Can you put on your camera?
Don't see me?
Yeah, I don't see you.
But
all right.
It's necessary for these players to get those minutes. So
yeah. Hey, Robbie.
See me now?
Yeah, man. What's up, man? Wow, Robbie, this is like a dream come true, man. I'm an Arsenal fanatic. We had Gunnar Claude on, Claudio Caligari. I want to thank him for making this happen because he was the one that kind of intermediated. He was like the Jorge Mendes who made this happen. He was the agent. Robbie. Jorge Mendes. I tried to call him. I tried to call Claudio a legend, and he didn't like that because he feels like it was a legend. But I get him. He's like Larry David. He knows the stuff, but he's his own personality. I love him though. I love Claudio. He's
I'm gonna
great.
start calling him Jorge Mendes from now on. That's funny.
Robbie, man, please tell us about yourself, man. I mean, I was talking about what you've done with Arsenal Fan TV and how you kind of started a revolution with fans where, you took it out of this TV studio and right to the fans and got their passion, got their love for the game, for the particular club. And now there's other squads that have what you do, like, Jim Daly Comedy, who was on our show a couple of weeks ago, who do fan TV. And it's very, very popular.
Yeah. It just came out of an idea that I had. I just was watching TV one day, and I was just watching yet another pundit on TV just chatting a load of rubbish, and I was thinking to myself, was that the game that I was at? Because that's not how I and all my friends saw that game.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see if I could come up with something which would give fans like a platform where they could speak about the game, speak about what they thought about Arsenal. Because I always just think to myself that there's no real platform for the fans, for the actual people who take the money out of their pocket and travel all over the country, all over Europe to see Arsenal play. There was never any sort of forum for them where you can just speak to an ordinary fan. There are podcasts and things like that. But even with some of those podcasts, and even with some of them, not all of them, but some of them, they're a bit cliquey. That if you don't have X amount of followers on Twitter, or if you're not this person or that person, you you can never get onto those podcasts. But I wanted something where, as long as you're a fan of Arsenal and you turn up to the game to watch the game, you can have your say. So that was the whole point of it. And it's sort of become quite successful.
Yeah. Speaking of Arsenal, Robbie, I was just talking off air with Rodrigo that it seems that history is repeating itself. The last Wenger years, they're plunging once again. How do you? What's going on there? I mean, I think this is the year that their possibilities are much higher than previous years, since the other teams don't want that title. How is this possible? Why is Arsenal not taking advantage of this?
Maybe we don't want it either. I think plunging is too deep a word to use. We're going for a very bad patch at the moment in that, we've just drawn far too many games, had too many disappointing games recently. And it does start to make you feel, like the other night we had a lot of very frustrated fans because you start to feel a bit of deja vu, because we have been in this position a few times over the years where we're in a very strong position to win the title and then we just have a string of games where we literally throw it away. But I think we're still in there. We're in fourth place, but we're like 5 points off of Leicester, who we play. So if we was to win our next couple of games, we'll be just behind Leicester. So there's still a very long way to go. There's I think it's 14 games, so that's still a lot of points to be won. I think it's like 39 points. So you don't win the league in February. You win it in May. So I want to see the team now. We've got certain players that have come back. I think the key two players are Alexis Sanchez and Francis Coquelin. I think we've really missed both of them. And I'm hoping that they're going to sort of spur us on and, change the mood and change the form. It's just
Robbie, you said the word Spurs. That's unacceptable. You cannot say Spurs on this channel. And speaking of Spurs, we better be celebrating St. Tyrone Day, because if they finish on top of us in the league, I don't know what I'll do. Like that's never happened. And you know what? They're coming strong, and I cannot say that they're a bad squad right now. They're very consistent. They're very, very consistent. Pochettino has them playing really well. Lamela finally woke up from his nap. And Harry Kane, everybody's waiting for him to lose form. He's playing really well. Song is also playing well. So, they're up there, and they may finish top four.
Listen, they're a good team. They're very well balanced team, and they're very consistent at the moment. So I think they've only lost 3 games. We've lost 5. So they're very consistent at the moment, and they're in there. They're definitely in there with a shout. But I think that if we play to our full ability, there's no reason why we can't win the title. We've got a very, very good team. It's just at the moment we're just going for a very, very, very bad patch that, it's up to the players to get us out of that bad patch. There's enough quality in that team. The other night, we absolutely battered Southampton, should have got something out of that game, but we didn't. One of the reasons I think that is because we keep playing games where we're only playing for literally 45 minutes. We're starting off so slowly in the first half. And then once we get going, you've only got a half of the game left to try and, get the result. So I want to see the team go out there and start, going at it right from the beginning. That's what we was doing earlier on in the season. That's when we played Manchester United. I think one of our best performances of the season at home. We tore them apart within 45 minutes. I haven't really seen that since.
I was in that game, actually. I was in the stadium, Robbie, for that game. It was
a great game, and it was a great performance by the team. But there's been far too many games that we started off very slowly. And I think a lot of that's down to the fact that we've missed Alexis Sanchez. We've missed him a lot, and we've missed Francis Coquelin in the middle of the park. And I also think we've missed Santi Cazorla.
Yeah, I was going to mention him. I think he's one of the links between Coquelin and and Ozil. He's the one that has been really good at being defensive, but also being creative. And he out of nothing, he just creates something with his runs. He, his injury is, I think, for us is very crucial.
And he doesn't give the ball away, and is excellent, and he can receive the ball in the middle of the park under extreme pressure, and doesn't lose it. Whereas with Aaron Ramsey, he hasn't got that same sort of ball control.
No.
He doesn't have the same sort of discipline playing in that position as well as Sammy. He tends to try and get forward a lot and try, his thing is getting forward and trying to score goals.
Yeah.
And recently, that partnership, I feel, between him and Flamini hasn't really worked. So I'm glad that Coquelin's back there. Coquelin will offer more security in that position, I think. Playing next to him. And listen, we can turn this around. I did an interview with Olivier Giroud a couple of days ago, and he was saying that, they feel they can turn it around. But what I want to do, I want to see these players go out there and show us, go out there, like we're playing Bournemouth on Sunday. Don't get me wrong, it's a very difficult place to go to. They beat Man United there, they beat Chelsea there. But I want the Arsenal players to go there and say, you know what, go there with a swagger. You know what, we're Arsenal, and we ain't going to get to know like Bournemouth. We're coming here and we're going to put you to the sword. I haven't seen that in a while, and we need to get that swagger back on if we're going to win the title. Speaking
of swagger, Joel Campbell has been playing really well. I mean, after he's been, he was maligned by everybody, by people on Arsenal Fan TV. I know Mo was going on about him, and Claudio, and the other guy, the guy who wears a full kit. I want to call him a full kit wanker, but he kind of is. You know who that is. But, and now he's playing really well. I mean, he's taking his chance. Yeah, he's taking his...
brilliantly, and I think I like players like that who get their opportunity and rise to the occasion, and that's what Joel Campbell, Nacho Monreal, Hector Bellerin, those three guys have got their opportunity, risen to the opportunity, and they've been excellent. And I think even Arsene Wenger, who I know was unsure about Campbell. Before. You could see the other day in that game where against Chelsea we went down to 10 men, he didn't take him off, he took off Giroud. Which was, I still think that was a mistake, but it shows how much faith he's got in Campbell if he's saying to himself, I'm going to leave Campbell on the pitch.
Yeah, I like Elneny. Elneny's played a pretty good game. First time on the pitch, in a professional match with Arsenal. But Mohamed Elneny, showing some flashes there of Arsenal-esque play that I liked. I think he's going to do well.
He looked good. I was just very surprised that he wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah.
Tonight there was some rumours saying that possibly he had a slight injury or something. I don't know, but I was really surprised that he didn't play the other night because he looked decent. But listen, we've got the players. There's no doubt about it. We've got a very good squad. And we've got the players, I feel, to win this league. It's whoever the players believe it up here. And I think that they need to get out there now and start imposing themselves on teams.
I still think we should have signed another defensive midfielder as cover. I mean, Elneny kind of can play that role. I think he can be groomed to that role more. I think he was trying to be a little more forward than what Arsenal wanted, what Arsene wanted. And maybe another forward, for next time, because everybody's been linked to us. But, I don't think Welbeck is going to play, I don't know when. Him and Sturridge are in the treatment table more than anybody.
Welbeck's playing today, actually. He's playing for the under-21s. So that was confirmed this morning. So he's playing a game for the under-21s, and he's probably going to play a couple more games, maybe behind closed doors.
Okay.
So he's going to be back. I'd say in the next couple of weeks he'll definitely be back into the first team, and I think that's another player that we missed because he brings a lot of balance to the team. He's a guy that you can bring off the bench if need be. He's hard working, so he's just a better balance when he's in the team. So we just concede less goals. So it'll be good to have him back. We just want to get everybody back. But I think now that these players are coming back, you've seen with Alexis the past couple of games, he's been slightly rusty, but still effective. But if we can get them motoring 100%, we still got a good chance of winning this league. People I think I've gone a bit over the top this week with their reactions to that draw. It was
We always do. We always do.
draining. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Because, you expect to win games like that against Southampton at home, but it's not the end of the world. There's still a lot of points to be won. We've got to get back on track. Can all change with a win. That's how football is.
Yeah, Ellis?
Yeah. Do you think that there's an overly French presence in Arsenal? How do the British players react to that?
There's always been, since Arsene Wenger's been there, there used to be more French players under the Invincibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They've kept that benchmark. It's impressive.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there never used to be hardly any English players in the Arsenal team. So there's quite a few English players in there now, British players, and to be fair, they need to start stepping up because they've been amongst the worst performers recently. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Theo Walcott, Aaron Ramsey, they've been poor recently. I'm a fan of all three of those players, but recently their performances have been very poor, and they need to step up. Theo, in particular, should be a guy who's a big time player for us right now. He's back to fitness. He's been very poor recently, so I want to see these guys step up.
Do you think they're still missing a presence such as Adams, let's say, in that to sort of ignite the whole squad? Because it seems as though, as you said, they play well for 45 minutes, but when the second half rolls on, it doesn't seem like there's so much anger and energy in that squad. You don't get it.
I always say that I think Arsenal team is a bit too nice.
There you go. Exactly. That's
we haven't got no sort of hardcore players in the team. Probably Flamini's about the only one, and he wouldn't even describe him as a hardcore player. We could do with a couple of those kind of characters in the team. We just ain't got them at the moment, to be honest. The only one who seems to have a bit of that devil in him is Gabriel. But the rest of the team, I think they're too nice on occasions. So I'm saying for this run-in, we need them to get a bit more nastier. We need them to show a bit more swagger. They can do this. They can win this. It's up to them.
Why is no one talking about the Champions League? Because we haven't seen since that. That's why. Everyone has just ignored that whole topic, and it's been 10 years since they made a final.
The most important thing for all Arsenal fans is to win the league, and that's even before we drew Barcelona. If you asked every Arsenal fan at the start of the season, they would have said the thing that if you said to them, what thing would you like to win the most? They'd say to you, the Premier League. It's going to be really hard to get past Barcelona. I think we can beat them at home. It's a possibility. We beat Bayern Munich at home, but it's going away to the new camp. It's always really, really hard. We've seen it over the years. You don't get no decisions out there either, so it's always tough to go to the new camp. So I think we're sort of treating that game, the fans anyway, are sort of treating that game like, hopefully we can do well in that, but there's an expectancy that we won't get through that because Barcelona are probably the best team in Europe right now, even if they're on Bayern Munich. But when it comes to the league now, we all look at it and say, we know that we can beat these teams around us, and we know that we can win this league this year. So that is the one that I think every Arsenal fan really is more concentrated on, more than the Champions League.
Robbie, before I let you go, let's talk about non-Arsenal matters. They're not really as important, but there's other teams in the league, other teams in the world. Mourinho to Man United.
Those teams.
Other teams, whatever. Mourinho to Man United. To me, if Mourinho goes to Man United, it'll be the best thing ever because I hate them. I hate Man United with a passion because that was my team. When I started supporting Arsenal, they were the only game in town. It was either Arsenal or Man United, and I hate them. Period. So if Mourinho goes there, to me, it's beautiful. It's like a Michael Bay movie. Explosions, mayhem, everything. It's going to be so beautiful. What do you think about that? And also Allegri to Chelsea. Massimiliano Allegri from Juventus is rumored to go to Chelsea. What do you think about how that's going to affect next year?
Yeah, next year's going to be a real merry-go-round because I think definitely Manchester United will change manager, and it looks like it probably will. But I I don't think the owners of Manchester United and the hierarchy really want Mourinho. Because I always say this. I get criticised by some of my Chelsea mates when I say this, but I say that the hiring Mourinho is like doing a deal with the devil. So he'll bring you success, but he doesn't tell you about all the consequences.
3 years of bliss and then downhill.
It all falls apart. And Mourinho's the type of guy who could bring success to Manchester United, but then I can see it going all horribly wrong.
He wrote a letter. He wrote a 6-page letter to them. He wrote a letter to Man United. He wrote a letter to Man United saying, "Oh, please, why would I be the greatest manager for Man United?"
I don't think that's confirmed, but I mean, there's no doubt that he wants the job. I don't think they really want to give it to him, but they probably will give it to him because now that Pep Guardiola's gone to Manchester City, they haven't really got another big name out there that they can go and get. So, he could end up at Manchester United, which would make it really interesting. Allegri is a good manager. He could end up at Chelsea, but I just think that Manchester United and Chelsea have been a bit of a shambles the way that they've run the club in recent years. The management situation, just everything about Manchester United in particular. It just makes me think to myself that when Arsene Wenger does leave, we have to be very careful how we appoint the next person who takes over him, because Man United is a shambles. They've tried to go this Galactico route where they've thrown loads and loads of money at it. That hasn't worked. That's not how they used to do things. They've always spent a lot of money, but they used to do it in a way that they brought through players and then they added extra talented players to their squad.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to go the Real Madrid route, and that's not working for them. Chelsea are Chelsea. Every year they chop and change and bring in the next big thing. It's going to be a crazy because there's Jurgen Klopp's at Liverpool, so there's going to be a lot of big managers in the Premier League next season. Simeone's another one who's getting linked a lot with Chelsea. So there will be big names in the Premier League managing next season. I think there'll be some big players probably moving to the Premier League as well next season. That's if they don't go to China. That is because China seems to be nicking all the top players at the moment. But
they're playing FIFA in China, and anybody Brazilian is gonna get bought. That's how we play FIFA. I usually go, okay, Brazilian, okay, he's got to be quality. I got to rate him. Do you play FIFA, Robbie?
No, you know what? I don't get enough time. I try. I'm not very good.
Okay.
I don't get enough time to play. I'm so busy with this thing, but it's going to be crazy next season. That's why I think Arsenal is going to be a lot more difficult to win it next season when Pep Guardiola, possibly Mourinho, these sort of guys come in. So we need to really try and see if we can get over the line this year and win this league.
Right.
And it's there to be won.
It is. It definitely is. Robbie, thank you so much for joining us. We're fans. We love you. You can't believe you're here, like in person. It's great. Arsenal to the death. That's my English team. Thank you so much for joining us. Please come back again. And people can follow you on Arsenal at Arsenal Fan TV, right? That's your.
At Arsenal Fan TV. That's us on Twitter. Arsenal Fan TV on
everything. YouTube. You broke YouTube. You broke the internet with YouTube. You got like 1 million people on there. It's nuts.
Before you go, I just want to ask you guys. Give me a tip for the Super Bowl.
I think the Panthers are going to win. The little I know of American football, I think the Panthers are going to win because Cam Newton is playing really well. He's on form. He's like Neymar. He's like Neymar right now. He's on form. I think. I think that's what it is.
What's his name, you said?
Cam, C-A-M Newton. He's a quarterback for the Panthers.
So I always like to watch the Super Bowl. I'm not going to, confess to being a massive fan, but when the Super Bowl and the games leading up to it, I always like to watch those, and it's always really, really entertaining. Up till ungodly hours on Sunday.
Who do you think is going to win, Ellis? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm going to have to agree with you, Rodrigo. It would be a fairy tale ending for the Broncos and their QB, Peyton Manning, but I don't think it's going to be it. Yeah, I think that Carolina has it. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Okay. Well, my aunt lives in Charlotte, so.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Robbie, thank you so much for joining us again. Say hi to Claude, say hi to Bully, say hi to Mo, say hi to Full Kid Wanker, I forget his name.
Let's get us 3 points on the weekend.
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you, Robbie. Arsenal Fan TV, signing off.